Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you in another episode of Modded Minecraft from the HermitPack server. Jeez guys, can you believe that it is almost the end of January 2017? I mean, seriously, what has happened to this month? It has just disappeared into oblivion, hasn't it, man? Feels like just the other day it was New Year's and, well, now it's almost freaking February, man. What in the name of all that is holy has happened to the time? I don't know, man. It's just completely vanished. It's been a pretty busy year so far for the ReNDoG. Not here on YouTube. I know. You guys have been missing the videos. Thank you to all of you guys who have been getting in contact with me. And I got a couple of emails from some concerned cyberdogs saying, ReNDoG, are you alive? Is everything okay? You haven't been making videos in January. What's going on, man? Are you okay? Don't worry, guys. Everything is fine. The ReNDoG is alive and kicking. Been taking a little bit of time off this month to recharge my batteries and recharge my soul for what is going to be a freaking amazing 2017. I am so pumped for this year, so hyped out of my mind for this year, guys. I've got some seriously big plans. I've been busy doing a little bit of other work too this month, which has been kind of awesome, actually. It was an opportunity that landed in me lap last year in December. I got contacted by my old boss in London, and he offered me some freelance work to do in January. And you know what? I said, you know what, dude? I'm gonna do it. I want to do some work for you and make a little bit of extra money. And all of that money, man, that I made this month, oh man, I'm so excited. It's opened up so many opportunities for me. Number one, I'm going to be able to fly back to South Africa to see my family. I haven't seen them in about a year or so. And flying back to SA from London is not a cheap affair. Let me tell you something. But I'm planning to go out there to see my family in the next couple of months or so. And this freelance work that I've been doing is going to help me to get there, which is awesome. I'm also going to be investing this year in quite a few new ventures, shall we say. All of this extra money that I'm making, I'm going to use to try and, well, take my YouTube channel and my YouTube career, I suppose, to the next freaking level, baby. I got some serious plans. I've been working with Doc and Iskal on a brand new project. For those of you guys who watched our Project Ozone series, oh, baby, get hyped. We have been working on something that is going to blow all your minds out the water, baby. Oh man, it is going to be so awesome. We are, like, all of us are so freaking hyped. All three of us can't wait to get going, and we've been working our butts off on that, and we've also been doing some investing in it too. So we're going to try and bring you guys something special, man, something you've never seen before, and whew, baby, we are excited about that. This year, I've also got some other plans. I'd like to do a little bit of traveling this year. I want to go to some more sort of games conventions, Minecon, Gamescom, DreamHack. I want to get over to the United States of America to go and visit some of you cyberdogs and maybe do some meetups in LA and New York and all of that sort of jazz, right? So I thought to myself, well, if in January I can make a little bit of extra money doing some freelance work, then all of that money can go towards sort of traveling this year and, you know, doing some really amazing stuff in 2017. So it's been a pretty busy month for me, but man, I have missed you guys. I have missed YouTube. I have missed playing lots of Minecraft a lot. I've been playing loads of Minecraft off camera, but I do kind of miss recording a lot, and man, can't wait to get back into it. By the way, I've just been digging out this pit underneath the Scallium juice exit hole, and we've got some big plans for this area. It is going to be absolutely epic. However, we have got a pretty major situation on our hands at the moment. We are currently powerless, so to speak, or not powerless. We are, well, leeching power from Iskal, aren't we? And we need to start sorting out our power situation. So I thought we would kick off today's episode by completing the final part of our barbecue burger shack, biohazard burger shack project. And that is, of course, finding a way to get all of these raw ingredients that we've been collecting over to Area 85 so that they can be turned into barbecue pulled pork burgers. Oh my goodness. Let me get a sip of this beverage. My mouth is running ahead of my brain. There we go. So we're going to find a way to get all of these stored up ingredients into this pipe. and then we're going to be sending those ingredients over to Iskal, and then hopefully Iskal's going to find a clever way to turn all of those sweet, tasty-ass ingredients into some burgers for us, and then send them back to us. So we got to create some sort of a system that can sort of send and receive goods, I guess, send raw materials or all of the raw ingredients, and then receive the processed ingredients back, right? And to do that, we're going to be using something quite clever, I think. Well, I think it's clever anyway. It's pretty clever for ReNDoG, who is, you know, I'm pretty bad at modded, but hey, I think I may have cracked the nut in this one. So let me get ready, guys, and let me show you what I've been cooking with. Now, before I forget, I wanted to show you guys the improvements that I made to the iron farm that we worked on together last time. And I gotta tell you, man, this thing is cooking with freaking gas now, baby. Take a look at this. We were having a couple of issues with XP balls at the end of the previous episode, and I've installed an Experience solidifier up there, and that is basically turning all of those balls into solidified XP and delivering them into my storage facility right away. So that's kind of solved that issue quite nicely. I also rearranged the spawner and the vacuum chest a bit, and now the iron ingots are not getting stuck and are not clumping up, and I can literally just let this bad boy run and generate an insane amount of iron without any freaking problems. I am so happy with this, man. All of this iron that I've been getting into my system has gone a long way over the last few days or so. Let me tell you something, it has been beautiful having access to so much freaking iron. So amazing, man. Thanks, by the way, to everybody who commented on that build, and I'm so glad to see that you guys enjoyed the previous episode. Wow, so many awesome comments, so many likes, so many freaking views. Amazing, guys. Thank you as always. You guys are sweet, man. Anyway, check it out. I have been working here a little bit. I have isolated the Escablium juice overflow, and that has now been sorted. We don't have this gloop rushing all over our base anymore, and I've made a little chamber down here. We're going to need to find a way to connect this chamber to the cyber lab somehow, because I got some sweet plans for this disgusting gloop over here. But before we can get to that, we've got really important things to do. We need to find a way to get our power supply back, and we need to start working on creating barbecue pulled pork burgers as fast as possible. I don't want to be a leech anymore, man. I'm tired of sucking all of the freaking lifeblood out of Iskal's base and using his power. I want to run on my own freaking steam right now, okay? That's my plan. And I want to see if we can actually get that done today. So here's the thinking. What I want to do is I want to transport all of these ingredients that are currently being stored in this disk drive into that pipe. I want all of those ingredients then to go through the pipe, so to speak, all the way over to Iskal's base, and then Iskal will process them on the other side. Now, there's a couple of ways that we could do this. We could run an item conduit all the way through this pipe to Iskal's base. However, that's going to be a little bit of a problem, I think. Iskal and I are in different chunks, so if I'm on and Iskal's not on, then we're going to have problems with loading the factories and loading the burger factories and stuff, and that might sort of have a negative impact on our power production. So I think we need to find a smarter way to do this. Now, I've got a couple of blocks in my inventory right now, as well as a whole bunch of junk, which is actually quite annoying. Let's get rid of this for now, okay? I'll clean this up a little bit later on, don't worry. But I got a couple of blocks in my inventory here, and I've also made for myself a butt ton of dimensional transceivers, which is what we're going to be using for this process. And check this out. I've also made myself an exporter from refined storage, and we're going to be plugging in our exporter into this thing over here, into our disk drive. And I think that's actually plugged in the wrong way. I don't actually know. We're going to have to experiment a little bit. I've also got a chest over here. So let's get a chest down here. Okay, boom. Well, that's not really connected very well, has it? Let's try this again if we put the exporter on top of the chest. Okay, there we go. That's beautiful. So the disk drive is going to be exporting all of the raw ingredients into this chest. Now, here's where the clever bit comes in. Let's stick a transdimensional transceiver thingy down here, right? And we're going to configure this to move items. Now, what this dimensional transceiver is going to be doing is sending ingredients for barbecue pulled pork burgers. So let's set up a filter over here called barbecue burgers. And in the item section of the transceiver, we're going to be adding barbecue burgers to send. Okay, so let's add it to the filters and then add it to send. There we go, beautiful. Now we need to define exactly what this transceiver is going to be sending, and we're going to do that over here in the configuration. So in the send, I'm going to add pork chops, wheat, spice leaf, and tomatoes, and also in the filter, I think we probably need to do the same thing. So actually, let's take these out because those are the raw ingredients, and let's go to the filter, and we're going to tell this filter that these are the only items that you need to send, right? We don't want to be clogging up Iskal's factory with any other items that might land in this chest accidentally. Now what we can do is add to the send, add all of these ingredients to the send, and this transceiver is now configured correctly. Beautiful. So this transceiver, by the way, is also leeching a little bit of power right now. I think it's leeching from one of Derp's banks over here, and yeah, I'm going to try and switch that to my own power as soon as possible, and yeah, hopefully the Derp guys don't mind me using a little bit of power to get this thing going today. Anyway, so that transceiver is now ready to send raw ingredients. We need to find a spot where these raw ingredients are going to be arriving. Now, if we travel all the way up this pipe, we're going to find a spot where it's going to be absolutely perfect to receive all of these items. Freaking glowing Scallium leading the way as the sun sets. This is probably a little bit of a dangerous time to be doing this, but hey, we're in a steel pipe, right? Nothing too bad can go wrong. Anyway, this is the section of the pipe that we were working on with Iskal a few episodes ago, and this is the section of the pipe that is really, really cool. This is the section where we're going to be able to see all of those ingredients going back and forth between this pipe over here, right? So this is probably the best place to set up the next dimensional transceiver thingy. What we could have done, of course, is just run an item conduit all the way along this pipe, all the way into Iskal's base. But that is probably not a good idea. My base and Iskal's base are in different chunks, so if we're not on at the same time and we had an item conduit thing running on, we might have some issues with lag and my power generation might shut down. So I think this is probably the smart way to do it, right? So it looks like the items are being sent into the pipe, but actually what's happening is they're sort of being transmentionally transceived or whatever. I can never say the name of these stupid things. Anyway, let's set up our second dimensional transceiver over here. And actually, let's set it up one space back. This is going to be the chest over here, right? That is going to be receiving the items. And I don't know, can this chest be plugged straight into this pipe? Let's have a look. Okay, it can be plugged straight into the pipe. Okay, perfect. So we don't want to have sort of any buffer over here between when the ingredients arrive in the pipe and when they start going into this pipe over here, right? We want them to just go straight through. Now what we could do is set up our second dimensional transceiver, ReNDoG. Jeez, use your lips, man. Use your lips to talk. Now, the first thing that we need to do is configure this thing, of course, to push all of the items it is getting into that chest over there. And then we are going to be changing the filter over here to barbecue barbecue burgers, but this time we are going to be changing it to receive. So this dimensional transceiver is going to be receiving all of the items from that barbecue burger filter that we set up. We're going to need some power here too. So Derp reactor number 2, I thank you for your juice. I will compensate you somehow in the future. But just for now, let's just use some of that so that we can get this thing fired up. Okay, so this thing should be receiving all of those items as soon as we get it configured correctly. And those items are going to be going into this chest. Oh, it already worked. Excellent. Take a look at that. So all of those ingredients that we put in the other transceiver has already been sent over here into this chest. Okay, this is sweet. I'm getting excited now, man. Okay, so let's go over to this side of the pipe, which should end over here. Yes, here it is. Okay, sweet. So this is the other side of the pipe, and we need another chest on this side, don't we? By the magic of the internet, another diamond chest has arrived in my paw. Just went back to my base, of course, to make one, but here we are, ready to connect up the final section of this little transporting system. Absolutely amazing. This pipe over here, by the way, guys, is called an advanced logistical transporter, and it's actually a little bit of a mission to make these pipes. Let me show you very, very quickly the recipe. What you need is enriched alloy and basic logistical transporters, and to make rich alloy, you need something called a metallurgic infuser. But once you got a metallurgic infuser, it's pretty easy to make. Basically, metallurgic infusers use redstone and other power sources along with RF to create stuff. So in order to make this, you need to add redstone into this battery of the infuser and have it connected to RF. And then it works together and it makes one of these things. Anyway, pretty simple pipe to make. Not too expensive. All you need is some redstone and stuff like that. But that is not why we are here, man. We are here to get these items flowing up and down these sweet-ass pipes. So let's get our diamond chest installed, and hopefully we should see the items traveling. It doesn't look like it. I think we need to have some sort of configurator or something at the end here. As has become the norm in this modded series, it turns out the ReNDoG was woefully unprepared for today's task. Well, nothing new to see over here, right? Turns out, guys, that one needs something called a configurator in order to change these pipes, or at least to configure these pipes. So just got back and made myself one of these things. Not too difficult to make. All you need is an enriched alloy from Mechanism and an enriched tablet from Mechanism, which just needs enriched alloys. And enriched alloys are pretty easy to make in your metallurgic infuser. So actually, not too expensive to put together. Just a little bit of a pain in the butt. Now, let's see if we can actually use this configurator correctly. I'm trying to change the color of the thing. Right clicking on it, hold shift. There we go. Okay, so that's going to change it to dark blue. That makes sense. Now, if we stick our chest over here, boom, and we head over to the other side of the pipe and change the input side of the pipe to dark blue too, that should, in theory, configure our pipage correctly, right? So let's come up here and see if we can actually do this. Change to push. Okay, so we've changed that to push, although I think we want to change that to pull though, don't we? No, we want to change it to push. Okay, there we go. I actually saw the ingredients getting sucked out of there, so let's just change it back to push. There we go. And have those ingredients gone through? Let's check it out. No, so that's still sort of sticking in there. I think this needs to be changed to pull, right? There we go. The ingredients went, didn't they? No, they didn't. They kind of came and went, which is kind of weird. This pipe is messing my brain up a little bit, man. What is going on here? Houston, we have confirmation. ReNDoG is an idiot. There we go. I've managed to figure out the freaking configuration over here, guys. This side of the pipe needs to be pulled. So if we stick the ingredients into the chest, we'll see that they get pulled out. And the other side of the pipe just needs to be normal. It doesn't need to be push or pull or anything like that. So we saw the ingredients traveling along the pipe there, which is exactly what we wanted to see. That is absolutely amazing. Now all we need to do is get all of those ingredients flowing into this chest. And our side of the job is done, baby. This is freaking exciting, man. Last piece of the puzzle, cyberdogs. I am freaking hyped out the wazoo, baby. All we need to do is configure our exporter over here. And let's tell this exporter to only send pork chop, wheat, tomatoes, and spice leaves. And we're going to turn this to always on, right? I think. Only work without redstone signal. There we go. So that should be cranking now. Yes, it is. It's starting to crank. Okay, excellent. We probably want to add some speed upgrades here too, so that we can get it pushing out of here a little bit quicker. But look at that. These items are now traveling into this chest. Now, is this thing actually sending and receiving? That is the question. Let's take a look. This should be configured. The very top of it needs to be configured to pull. There we go. Now, are the items getting pulled out of the chest? Yes, they are. That means the ingredients should be traveling to this other dimensional transceiver. Jeez, I hate that word so much. And we should be seeing all of those delicious ingredients traveling through the transport pipe. There they are. Can you guys see them? Oh, that is just the most awesome sight ever, even though it's a little bit laggy. That is so cool. Oh man, this is a happy day. We're one step closer to freaking bacon power. Final adjustments have now been made, and I am super happy with how this pipe has turned out. Look at those freaking ingredients traveling back and forth between this rusty ass pipe. That is so awesome. I've pushed the chests a little bit back and deeper into the pipe on either side too, so now you can't see the diamond chests at all. You can't see anything other than that pipe inside and the items traveling in the pipe, and it's turned out way better than I thought it was going to turn out. I absolutely freaking love it, man, and I hope Escal likes it too. I can't wait to see what he does with these ingredients in his next episode. It's going to be awesome. Allow me to present to you, my fellow mad scientists, Experimental Escalium Reactor X014. Ever since the cyber labs were contaminated with this glowing green jazz, the ReNDoG has been running some experiments. I've got my Bunsen burner going. I've got a couple of vials, some frickin' ether and liquids that I've stole from my biology class. And I've been trying to figure out what this weird green gloop is. What is it made of? What are the elements within it? And more importantly, what can it do for us? Because we got a lot of it right now. And the cyber labs have become the Escalium dumping ground. So I want to find something to do with all of this Escalium. And turns out that Escalium and water don't go very well together. In fact, something very strange happens when you put Escalium with water inside of a reactor with a very super secret reactor core that I obviously can't tell you about because, well, someone might use that information to destroy the world with an Escalium reactor. Turns out, when Escalium and water combine inside of a reactor, the byproduct is calamari. So with that in mind, cyber dogs, here is the freaking plan, okay? We have got a giant sewerage pipe just outside of the Biohazard Burger Shack spewing a ridiculous amount of liquid Escalium waste directly into the cyber laboratories. Now that we've made our scientific discovery that we can turn Escalium into calamari, we're going to be creating a giant Escalium reactor directly underneath that pipe. That pipe is going to be feeding the freaking Escalium liquid directly into our reactor, and our reactor is going to be generating an insane amount of calamari. Why do we want calamari? Well, of course, we are running on culinary generator array power, and we're going to be sending that calamari along with the barbecue pulled pork burgers directly into our power producing facilities, generating an insane amount of RF, baby. I think a calamari, or a cooked calamari anyway, produces something like 75,000 RF inside of a culinary generator MK3. So the fact that I've made this discovery that we can turn Escalium into calamari, or Escalium into squid juice, basically, we are going to be able to generate a bunch of power. I know that Iskal's not going to be happy about this because he freaking hates squid. But you know what? It's science, man. Don't talk to the ReNDoG. Talk to the science. The remains of this janky village are really starting to hurt my soul, cyber dogs. Every time I look at this, I cringe a little bit because it's so freaking ugly, man. Give me 1 second. I need a sip of my beverage. I think it's about time that we start getting rid of these buildings, don't you? Especially considering the cyber labs are starting to pop up through the ground, and we've got a couple of really cool buildings popping up around here. I mean, seriously, I think it's time that we start getting rid of these disgusting village buildings. I thought what we could do is take down all of the buildings and maybe start mapping out some roadways on top of the what was once a vanilla Minecraft village. I've got some really cool plans for this place, man. I want to make, like, I think I was talking about it last time. I want to make like a really modern looking, super futuristic city above the cyber labs, right? That are going to look really awesome. Why is that zombie spawning? Is our reversion obelisk not working correctly? I got another soul vial over here. Get your soul in the bottle there, son. And let me drop him off in the aversion obelisk. I don't know. He should not be spawning, though. I'm pretty sure I've got a zombie one in here. Yeah. Anyway, maybe he was a rogue zombie that came out of the water or something. Anyway, I've got some really awesome plans for this little city, man. It is going to be so awesome. I want to make it look really, really futuristic, really awesome looking. I want to make it look like it's, I don't know, it potentially could be like a city found in Star Wars or something, you know, on a distant planet somewhere. That could be pretty cool, and it's going to all be in the same style as what we've been working on. And it's going to be super unique. I've never in my life made anything like this in Minecraft, or in modded Minecraft, in fact. So I'm really excited to see if I can actually make this vision come true. Wow, check all of this stuff out here, man. Didn't even know I had all of that. That is from way back at the beginning of the series, isn't it? I just heard a magma cube, I think. No, I think it was just the sound of the sand. Anyway, I think I'm going to take down all of these buildings, and then I want to start mapping out some roads. And I want to try and make the roads pretty modular, you know, because that's kind of what like a modern day city would look like. I guess this house over here, though, probably needs to stay, because this has got our original villager in there, plus our bed. And is there anything in here of importance? No, there's absolutely nothing here. This is where we used to grow ender pearls, but this can now go. So let's get rid of this. We can get rid of most of these buildings. I think we have a nether portal over here. Yeah, so that building probably needs to stay. I don't want to leave any of them. I just want to get rid of all of them as fast as possible. I'd rather just have like a flat village than a village of janky vanilla buildings everywhere. I'm not 100% convinced that this is making things better, if I'm honest. In fact, it's starting to feel a little bit more chaotic than before. I'm trying to replace all of the vanilla buildings with new alabaster foundations, and actually from up here, it's feeling pretty good, right? I've been setting up some roads that are 3 blocks wide, and these roads are going all the way through the different buildings, and so far we've got, what, about 6 or so buildings that we could make? And they're all different sizes and different shapes too, so actually, that's kind of cool. What I've just realized is that we're going to need a ridiculous amount of alabaster to build this city, but that's fine. And we still have a bunch of buildings to take down here too. I've got a bit of block lag out here though, which is a bit of an issue. It's going to be rather painful building the city if the lag's going to continue like this. But if I do this for the entire city, get rid of all of these buildings and lay out the roads and sort of try and map exactly where the buildings are going to go, I reckon that's going to make it a lot easier to start sprouting up some high-rise buildings and skyscrapers and all of that sweet jazz to make our city look pretty awesome, right? So this little passageway over here that I'm working on was originally only supposed to be a connection between the Escalium reactor room and the cyber labs, but the more that I work on this, guys, the more inspired I get to expand the cyber labs into an even bigger facility. This passageway gives us a little bit of space over here for at least 1 or 2 rooms, right? Plus, this gives us an opportunity to connect up into our pig farm facility over here and basically to complete the circle of the cyber labs, I guess. And that is actually really inspiring. I'm trying to come up with new ideas, new rooms, new machines, new factories to produce for the cyber labs over here, right? Maybe you guys can help me out, man. If you think our cyber laboratory needs anything, any new chamber, any new farm, anything else that we could add to it, hit me up in the comments. I need some inspiration because we're going to need a lot of things to do to fill up the cyber labs completely. Anyway, I've been working on this passageway and that should complete it. There we go. This is the raw version of the passageway, of course. There's still a bunch of chiseling and bitsing that needs to get done over here. Although this is kind of easy to do, man. Especially if you just use a design pattern. You can just clone this and get it done. But I wanted to get the raw version down first so that I could see what I was working with. And take a look at this, guys. I've been working on the little Escalium reactor chamber over here, and I think it's looking pretty darn sweet, man. I made it a little bit deeper than I originally intended to do. Yep, as you can see, it goes down all the way to the bottom there, but that has actually got my inspirational juices flowing. I would like to maybe create a facility over here to pay homage to Iskall a little bit, right? And maybe we could design this chamber very similar, I suppose, to the way that Iskall might design one of his chambers in his base. And of course, the way that he likes to do that is to have a sort of space underneath and then to have like the scaffolding or this catwalk around the facility. And that adds like a little bit of depth down there. And I think that's kind of awesome. Plus, we're going to be having an Escalium reactor down there, right? Which basically turns water and Escalium into calamari. That is some seriously radioactive jazz going on over there, man. The kind of radioactive jazz you want your special bits nowhere near, if you know what I'm saying. And maybe it's better that we have all of that radioactive activity happening down there and far away from us, man. We don't even have an Escalium suit at the moment. So, you know, we are being exposed right now and are probably going to turn into a giant calamari by the end of this season, considering what Escalium does to water. Well, that's just about gonna do it from me today, my friends. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, man. We have made quite a lot of progress. Loving it. However, I have got a lot of off-camera grinding to do, and I need to get to it quick, fast, and in a hurry. Next time we're together, guys, we're going to be working a little bit more on a much bigger version of that Escalium reactor in that chamber down there, and we're going to start turning Escalium into calamari juice. It's going to be freaking awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, remember to hit the like button. Helps to show me you're enjoying the videos, keeps me inspired, and lets YouTube know I'm doing a good job. So, you know, it's a win-win all around. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I see that there's quite a lot of new people coming in these days, and it's so nice to have you, man. Thank you so much for hanging out. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, okay? Thanks so much for watching, my friends. My name is ReNDoG, and I will smell you all in the next episode.